My background is computer science, and specifically it's human-computer interaction. What this means is I do the pieces of software that sit between the hardware and the nice little interfaces that you get when you switch your computer on. I worked in Horizon for about 5 years, and prior to that I was a member of the Mixed Reality Lab, which is another research group at the University of Nottingham. And throughout that time, I've worked on a number of interdisciplinary projects, and it's been great working with a wide range of people, ranging from big corporations like the BBC, British Telecom, down to smaller artist groups like Blast Theory and Active Ingredient. Most recently, I've been working on the Art Maps project in conjunction with the Tate Gallery, which has been a cultural crowdsourcing project, and also Create, which is an AHRC funded project. And within that, I've been looking at social networking. And for me, the biggest sort of benefit of doing interdisciplinary research is that it keeps me interested, stops me from getting bored. Prior to becoming a researcher, I used to work in industry as a software developer. And just doing that sort of single focus every day of software development, it really didn't keep me interested. Doing interdisciplinary research where I can be one day dealing with psychologists and sociologists or people from the business school, there's always something new in that. There's always something new to learn, although the danger is that I can get pulled off of track just by going, oh, that's interesting, and going away and looking that up. And sort of forgetting about what I was originally intending to do. One of the sort of biggest things that I find come out of interdisciplinary research is that it can have a real-world tangible benefit. Because the real world is made up of many different disciplines all interacting with one another, it's not got a narrow focus. It means that single disciplinary research sometimes can seem a bit more esoteric, and the outcomes of that sometimes don't feel as relevant to the real world, whereas I find with interdisciplinary research that the outcomes always immediately have some kind of impact in the real world. There is, however, a downside to doing interdisciplinary research. Every discipline has its own jargon, its own terminology, its own language, and sometimes these can be the same word but mean entirely different things, and if you're not aware of that, it can be quite disconcerting and difficult to get to grips with immediately. So recently I was in a meeting with a group of people from the medical profession, and just the sheer number of acronyms that were used in that meeting was absolutely immense. And this is coming from someone with a computing background where there are just so many acronyms in use in that. But anecdote aside, this can be quite a serious problem. It can be very difficult unless you keep in mind that people can be speaking a different language. Being aware of that, you can get unintended tensions between people who think you're saying something that perhaps you're not, or think you're pulling away in a different direction than they want to go, but actually you're saying the same thing but in different ways. And going forwards for the future, I think at the start of interdisciplinary research projects, it's very important to be aware of that and take the time to learn what other people are saying. Just slow things down a bit, just give everyone in that group time to reflect, learn and look up what you're saying. And really that makes your communication better, and that's better for your research, that's better for the group's research, and hopefully you get better outcomes.